G'day and welcome to another edition of FriBaT, Friday Beers and Tools. This week we've got another beer from Pirate Life Brewing, and just for a change for me, it's their lager. Alright, it's one of those stupid small cans again, 355ml, so they don't fit properly in my Yeti. I have to put a little bit of paper in the bottom of the Yeti. These are the first world problems that I have to deal with. Happy Friday. In Australia, lager is synonymous with beer. When the brewers of our nation began to emulate the popular style that heralds from Germany, we had finally found a beer that perfectly suited our climate. Cold, crisp, refreshing lager will always be at the heart of Australia's beer drinking culture. Born in Pirate Life's new home at Port Adelaide in South Australia, the Port local lager is brewed according to traditional German techniques with the highest quality natural ingredients. Adelaide water. 42 days in the tank means that subtle flavours and aromas have time to fully integrate, yeast can settle and the clarity develops. This 355ml can is 1.3 standard drinks, has therefore 4.5% alcohol, and lager. It is a very easy drinking lager. I do rip Adelaide off about their water. I lived there for 8 years, so I'm qualified. It does taste a little bit more like an ale than a lager, which is I guess you'd call it a hybrid. They market it as a lager though. It's not, for me, a traditional lager. It's nice, nothing wrong with it. It's always better beer. It's a good beer. There are better lagers out there, but there's nothing wrong with it. I don't know what else to tell you about it. It's a lager. It's an ale lager. Is there such a thing? Maybe there is. On my Spanner scale, it's only 3 out of 5 for me. Like I said, there's better lagers out there, and this to me doesn't taste like a traditional lager. It is more like an ale. Not bad though. Okay, this week's probably a first for me. I've actually found a tool that I cannot recommend to you to buy. It is junk. Unfortunately, I bought it from Amazon. Fortunately, it wasn't very dear, and also fortunately, when I complained, they gave me my money back and did not require it back. I have purchased this brand Seago-like face shield helmet mask with clear visor, anti-fog, protective cover, safety grinding, protects against falling or flying objects. Falling objects, yeah, right. Impacts chemical splash anti-fog mask. I know why they do that. It's so that when you search in Amazon you get something along those lines. This was a whole $23.99 delivered, and I tell you what, it ain't even worth that. Right, the first problem with it is a problem of supply. When the helmet arrived in plastic, just like this, in a cardboard box, as Amazon does, this center section, the actual headpiece section, was disconnected and rattling around inside, and probably going to be very hard for me to show you, but it has scratched all of the inside of this face, not the outside but the inside. It's very hard for me to record. I don't know whether you'll see that or not. Anyway, take my word for it, it has scratched all the inside. Now perhaps I can polish that out but I wanted to buy a face shield to use as a face shield. I didn't want to buy something to then have to do work to it to make it usable. The second big problem with this quality product from China is, I'm not sure whether you can see the angle of the headpiece there, but normally on welding helmets and things like that, this angle here is a bit shallower, and maybe it's just my unusually shaped head. I don't think it's very unusually shaped, I think it's rather perfect. This is all the wrong angle. This digs into the back of your head. I've tried to adjust, it is adjustable on top, and this part obviously adjusts the tightness of it, and I cannot get it comfortable. I sent a message to the supplier who sells them on Amazon and said how dismayed I was. I guess I wasn't expecting a lot for $23, considering 3M's version is a couple of $100 in Australia, which is ridiculous for a face shield. There are much better quality. I'm not even going to put a link to this one in the description, or maybe I should, so that you can see what not to buy. I'll put a link in the description anyway. I cannot recommend it. This is a 1 out of 5. I probably can polish the plastic and fix that problem. Whether or not I can get this comfortable, I don't think so, purely because of the angle of it. It's just been poorly designed. I do have an old welding helmet that is, the screen is wrecked, so I may try and use its adjustable headpiece in it so that I can still get some use out of it, but like I said, it's junk. Cannot recommend it. 1 out of 5 for value, 1 out of 5 for functionality. Do not recommend this Seago like a face shield helmet, even at $23.99 delivered. Junk. Lift your game. The second tool for this week is a Sheffield brand folding knife. Now, I saw on a YouTube channel, can't remember which one it was, it may have been Musty, these use the standard Stanley type blade. Get it out without cutting myself. There's actually got a little bit of rust on it already. But they take your Stanley blade. The locking mechanism is very well designed. A little bit hard for me to show. It's all stainless steel. That's probably the only bad thing. And that locks the blade in place. When it's open, it is also locked in place, and you have to actually push on this back piece here to unlock the blade to fold it. I bought this from Banggood, Chinese, but it's actually really nicely well made. Oh, the other feature has this little button here which holds about 5 or 6 of your spare blades and locked in place. It also has a nice thumb grip here. Right, getting back to where I bought it from. I bought this from Banggood, which is a Chinese online eBay, I guess you'd call it. And this cost me, get back in, this cost me $26.90 delivered, I think, with $2, $3 shipping, something like that. So just a bit under 30 Australian dollars. This exact same knife, and I'll put a picture of it up here, is available on Amazon. And although not Sheffield branded, is identical in every way. So as I mentioned, this one is identical in every way other than the colour. That is where this one is grey, the Amazon one is blue, and it is a Work Pro brand. Interestingly, they are patented, both of them, exactly the same. Even has the same orange bit here. And interestingly enough, on Amazon, it is an $87.60 knife. $87.60 knife. Would I ever pay $87.60 for a utility knife? Most definitely not. Would I pay $30 for a decent utility knife which actually does fold away, nice and safe? Yes, I would, and I did. So for $30 odd from Banggood, and I am trying to buy it. I bought this one a while ago, I might add. I probably have had this for about 18 months. I would recommend it. I wouldn't recommend buying the one off Amazon for once, because it is too dear. However, Banggood have this one for $30 odd delivered. Value for money. There are cheaper utility knives out there. You don't need this one, but this one has a lot of nice features like the thumb hold, etc., the locking mechanism, and the spare blades, and toolless change as well. So for value for money at $30, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. For functionality, it's a 5 out of 5 for me. Simple as that. 5 out of 5 beers for functionality. It works really, really well. It works better than any of the traditional old Stanley type knives, utilising the same type of blades. Could not recommend buying one at $83.60 from Amazon, however. I'll put a link down in the description to the Banggood Sheffield knife. Alright, that's it. Quick and sweet this week. Just a couple of tools, both Chinese, one rubbish, one really good. Bit sad about that. But still, they gave me a full refund, which often does happen with Amazon. It's far cheaper than to give you a refund on a $20 tool than it is for them to pay the postage to return it. Handy to know. But I cannot recommend it. The face shield, no way. The Sheffield, however, good to go. Get one of them. Alright, thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by and having a beer with us on a Friday afternoon. And see you next week.